Hey, you two, welcome back to the continuation of part 2 of the NFL football season preview. We are going to wrap up the NFC East in this video by talking about the lowly, lowly New York Giants. And my theme, or my question for the viewers, a bad roster and the hardest strength of schedule. What could possibly go wrong? This year could honestly but be, excuse me, one of the worst seasons, not only in Giants history, but in NFL history. And let's hash that out because I'm sorry, this is just going to be bad. Brian Dable is in his fourth season, by far on the hot seat this season. Between having that surprise run to the divisional round 3 years ago, there's been nothing coming from the Giants, and it's just been a disaster to say the least. So the big news with the Giants is that they did go out and get Russell Wilson, formerly of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they did get Jameis Winston to be the backup quarterback there. Both those quarterbacks are ageless veterans. They did draft Jackson Dart out of Ole Miss to be the third string quarterback, but that's whatever. Tyrone Tracy was a solid season ago, 5 touchdowns, almost 850 yards rushing, so not too bad for his rookie season, and then Devil Singletary there in the backfield. Uh, Wide receivers, Malik Neighbors had a solid rookie season as well, along with Wan'Dale Robinson, and then Darius Slayton, and then Jim Hyde there. I mean, you've got some pieces there on offense. On the defensive side of the ball, you've got Dexter Lawrence there. Only had 9 sacks a season ago. He'd be starting his seventh season. You've got Brian Burns. You've got Bobby Okereke. And then you also have Abdul Carter, your third overall draft pick in this year's draft. All-time record 724, 663, and 34. That is a 52.2% win percentage. The only team they have a winning record against in the division is the Washington Commanders, formerly the Washington Redskins, but it's Washington, so no matter what. They have a god-awful record against the Dallas Cowboys, and they have a decent record against Philadelphia, where they're close to being 500 in the all-time series. All right, so again, the team doesn't wow you. I don't think they've got many high profile, young, explosive, talented people. But now we're going to couple that with the schedule, and I swear, this schedule, oh dear God, it's like they wanted the Giants to die. Literally. Now, again, I might be a little bit extreme here, but just the way it's panning out, oh dear God. As you can see here, I have been winning one game this year. I'm going 1-16. I see this being a god awful year for the Giants once again. I Let's just break down the first 6 weeks, shall we? Let's just start there. You're at Washington, a team that you have not had a lot of success with. I mean, you lost to them. You got swept by them a season ago. Wasn't pretty. That's so you start with a divisional opponent on the road, week one. Then you go to another divisional opponent again on the road in the Dallas Cowboys. So that's not going to be a fun start. And then you come back. You're hosting Kansas City. Yikes! And the fact they made that Sunday Night Football, I think is absolutely disgraceful. But I think they need to put the Giants on there one time because they just felt bad for them. But then after that, you host the Chargers, who was a playoff team a season ago. So that's 4 straight either divisional or playoff teams from a season ago. Yikes. Then I have them their one game they're going to win. Will not be at home. It will be at New Orleans, because I think New Orleans is just worse by a long shot compared to the Giants. And then on a short week, week 6, you're hosting Philly, the Super Bowl Super Bowl champions. Oh dear God. And then you play at Denver, playoff team from a season ago, on the road. And then you play Philly again. I mean, that's your first 8 weeks. They wanted you to die. Literally. San Francisco might be something. I do not see them being Chicago. I do not see them being Green Bay. I definitely do not see them playing Detroit. That Monday night game against New England is going to get moved to probably 1 o'clock in the die zone because it's just not good. They get the late bye week in week 14, and then I have them crapping on the rest of the season. But oh dear God, I mean, the schedule, I mean, just the first 8 weeks alone are just a gauntlet. And you're talking about an under talented team coupling with that kind of scheduling. I mean, the NFL is just they want the Giants to get the number one overall pick is what they want to have happen because this is just not going to be a good year whatsoever for them. 1-16, they're not going to hit that 5.5 win total. It's not going to come close to it. But like, I mean, last year they only won 3 games, and their 3 games they won, it was Cleveland, It was Seattle, and then they won against Indianapolis. And the Indianapolis game was their last home game of the season. They won one game at home last season. I hope they win one game. As you can see here, I haven't won no games at home this year because I think it's just going to be bad all the way around. Regardless of where teams are playing or where the location is, it's going to be a bad year once again for the New York Giants. And arguably one of the worst, not only again in Giants history, but in league history as well. Alright, so this has been my video on the New York Giants. This wraps up the NFC East, and we are going to turn our attention to the final division left in the NFL. And that will be the NFC West, featuring the Los Angeles Rams, Seattle Seahawks, Arizona Cardinals, and the San Francisco 49ers. So we're going to turn attention to that last division in the last part of the series here, and then we will wrap up part 2 of the NFL football season preview. Until then, this is your man Dylan signing off about the New York Giants, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.